The Bible tells us, before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear. This is not merely poetic language, but the revelation of an eternal truth. The fulfillment of your desire already exists in what I call the fourth dimensional reality. Your work is not to create it, but to simply enter into that state where it is already fulfilled. Let me explain what I mean by collapsing time. In your three-dimensional consciousness, you perceive events as occurring in sequence past, present, and future. But in the fourth dimension, which is your imagination, all exists simultaneously. There is no waiting, no process, no time gap between your desire and its fulfillment. They are one and the same. The great secret is this. You must assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, not tomorrow, not in some distant future, but no doubt. For in the realm of the spirit, which is your true home, there is only the eternal now, and it is from this eternal now that all manifestation springs forth. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are not projecting into the future. You are instead stepping into a present reality that already exists in the fourth dimension. You are collapsing time by bringing the future into the present moment through the power of your consciousness. Consider for a moment what it would feel like if your desire were already fulfilled. How would you sleep tonight? How would you walk? How would you talk to your friends? What would your inner conversations be like? Would you not be filled with a sense of gratitude, a feeling of completion, and knowing that what you once longed for is now yours? This feeling, this assumption, this state of consciousness is what collapses time. It bridges the gap between your current three-dimensional experience and the fourth dimensional reality where your desire already exists in its completed state. Let me share with you a principle that has transformed countless lives, including my own. The principle is simple. You must persist in the assumption that your desire is already fulfilled. This persistence is not a matter of physical effort, but of mental conviction. It is the unwavering faith that what you are imagining is not fiction, but fact, not future, but present. The outer world, with all its circumstances and conditions, is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of your inner states of consciousness. Change the inner and the outer must follow, for they are one and the same reality viewed from different dimensions. Consider a man who desires financial abundance. He may spend years struggling, working tirelessly, only to find himself in the same state of lack. Why? Because in his imagination, in his inner conversations, he remains a man who needs money, who lacks it, who must work for it. But should he instead assume the feeling of already possessing wealth? Should he sleep each night in the consciousness of abundance? Should he walk and talk and think from the state of being financially free? He would find that circumstances would rearrange themselves to match his inner assumption. This is not magic or wishful thinking. This is the operation of a law as consistent as gravity. Your consciousness is the only reality, and the outer world must conform to the inner assumptions of your consciousness. It has no choice in the matter, for there is no power outside of your own consciousness that can withstand the conviction of your assumption. But many of you may say, I have tried to imagine my desire fulfilled, yet it has not come to pass. To you, I say, you have not truly assumed the state of your wish fulfilled. You have not collapsed time. You have stood outside your desire, looking at it as something separate from yourselves, something to be attained, something in the future. The secret to collapsing time is to so completely identify with state of your wish fulfilled that you can no longer distinguish between what is and what will be. When you can say with absolute conviction, I am what I desire to be, when you can feel it so completely that it consumes your being, when you can live from that state as naturally as you now live from your current state, then you have collapsed time. The great mystics and spiritual teachers of all ages have known this truth. When Jesus said, therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. He was not speaking of some distant fulfillment, but of an immediate identification with the state of having already received. Your imagination is the God power within you. It is the creative force to which all things come into being. When you imagine, you are literally creating reality, not a reality that will manifest someday in the future, but a reality that exists now in the fourth dimension and must, by law, objectify itself in your three-dimensional experience. Let me give you a technique that has proven effective for countless individuals who have applied it with understanding and conviction. I call it living from the end. It involves a complete mental and emotional relocation from where you are to where you desire to be. Before you sleep tonight, quiet your mind and body. Relax into a state where you are receptive, where your conscious reasoning mind is temporarily suspended. In this state, construct a scene that would imply the fulfillment of your desire. Make it as vivid as possible. See it, touch it, taste it, smell it, hear it. Make it real in your consciousness. Then, most importantly, step into this scene. Be not a spectator, but a participant. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the absolute knowing that your desire is now fulfilled. Fall asleep in this state, carrying this feeling with you into the depth of your being. What you are doing in this moment is collapsing time. You are bringing the future into the present. You are living from the end, from the state of fulfillment, rather than working toward it. But remember, this is not a one-time exercise. You must persist in this assumption until it becomes your natural state of being. The outer world may not immediately reflect your inner change, but do not be discouraged. The seed has been planted, and it must grow. The bridge between the inner and outer worlds is being built, and in due season, your three-dimensional experience will reflect the fourth-dimensional reality you have established in your consciousness. Many make the mistake of returning to their old state of consciousness after a brief excursion into the state of their wish fulfilled. They take a peek at their desire, so to speak, but do not move in and occupy it. As a result, they oscillate between states, and their manifestations are inconsistent or non-existent. Collapsing time requires a complete transformation of consciousness. It demands that you no longer see yourself as lacking what you desire, but as already possessing it. This is not pretense or self-deception. This is the recognition of a metaphysical fact that which you seek is already yours in the eternal, now the fourth dimension. Consider the story of the prodigal son. He had to come to himself before he could return to his father's house. This coming to oneself is the awakening to the truth that you are already what you seek to be. It is the realization that you have never been separate from your good, that it has always been within you, waiting for your recognition and acceptance. This is the art of collapsing time, to so completely identify with the desire that you and it become one. There is no gap, no separation, no waiting period. There is only the eternal now, where all possibilities exist simultaneously, and your consciousness selects which of these possibilities would become your experience. But let me caution you, this power is not to be used lightly or for frivolous ends. The law operates with mathematical precision, and as you saw in your imagination, so shall you in your experience. Therefore, be conscious of what you are assuming, for it will objectify itself in your world. Your desires should be worthy of you, noble and uplifting. They should contribute to your growth and the welfare of others. For as you expand your consciousness through the fulfillment of your desires, you contribute to the expansion of all consciousness. Many of you are probably wondering about the practicalities of this approach. You may be thinking, but what about action? Don't I need to do something in the physical world to realize my desires? Action will be necessary, yes, but it will be inspired action, action that flows naturally from your new state of consciousness. When you have truly collapsed time and are living from the state of your wish fulfilled, you will find that opportunities present themselves, doors open, and the right people and circumstances appear as if by magic. This is not to say that you should sit idly by doing nothing. Rather, your actions will be guided by an inner knowing, an intuitive sense of what to do and when to do it. You will no longer act from a place of lack or need, but from a place of abundance and fulfillment. Remember, the outer world is a shadow of your inner state. Change the inner, and the outer must follow. This is the law, and it cannot be broken. Those who understand this law and apply it with faith and persistence are the masters of their destiny, the creators of their reality. Let me share with you a personal experience that illustrates this principle. Many years ago, I decided to travel to New York to share these teachings with a wider audience. At the time, I had no means to make such a journey. I had no money for travel, no contacts in New York, no awkward way to fulfill this desire. But instead of focusing on these limitations, I began to live from the state of already being in New York, already sharing these teachings with receptive audiences. In my imagination, I walked the streets of New York. I felt the excitement of speaking to crowded halls. I heard the applause and saw the transformation in the faces of those who listened. I persisted in this state, living from it night and day until it became more real to me than my physical surroundings. And then, without any effort on my part, a series of events unfolded that led to an invitation to speak in New York with all expenses paid. This is the power of collapsing time. I did not create the opportunity through physical effort or conventional means. I created it through the assumption of a state of consciousness, and that state externalized itself as my physical reality. You too can apply this principle to every area of your life, whether your desires for health, wealth, love, or creative expression. The process is the same. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Persist in that assumption and watch as your outer world reshapes itself to match your inner conviction. But remember, the key is feeling. You must feel your way into the state of your wish fulfilled. Intellectual understanding alone is not enough. You must emotionally identify with your desire as already fulfilled. This feeling is the secret, the bridge between dimensions, the means by which you collapse time. Many people ask, how long will it take for my desire to manifest? This question itself reveals a misunderstanding of the principle. When you truly collapse time, there is no waiting, no how long. There is only the now in which your desire is already fulfilled. Your experience of time, of waiting for your desire to manifest, is simply a reflection of your consciousness. If you are still looking for your desire, if you are still waiting for it, then you have not fully assumed the state of its fulfillment. You are still standing outside looking in. To collapse time is to eliminate this sense of waiting, this gap between desire and fulfillment. It is to live so completely in the consciousness of having that the very idea of waiting becomes meaningless. Consider this: if you already had what you desire, would you be looking for it? Would you be wondering when it will come? Of course not. You would be enjoying it, living with it, experiencing it as a natural part of your life. This is the feeling you must capture and maintain, not the feeling of wanting or hoping or waiting, but the feeling of having, of being, of living from the state of fulfillment. And here is a profound truth that many miss. The feeling of having precedes the physical manifestation. It does not follow it. Most people believe they will feel the joy of having when their desire manifests physically. But the truth is, they must feel the joy of having before the physical manifestation can occur. This reversal of the conventional understanding of cause and effect is essential to collapsing time. Your feeling is the cause, the physical manifestation is the effect. And between cause and effect, there is no gap, no time lapse in the true sense of reality. What appears as a time lag in your three-dimensional experience is simply the working out of details, the rearrangement of conditions to match your new state of consciousness. But in the fourth dimension, in the realm of consciousness, the fulfillment is instantaneous. Let us explore another aspect of this principle. Your physical senses will always show you evidence of your past assumptions, not your present ones. This is why persistence is necessary. You must continue to live from the state of your wish fulfilled, even when your senses deny its reality. This persistence is not a matter of effort, but of faith. It is the conviction that what you are imagining is more real, more substantial than what your physical senses are showing you. It is the understanding that your senses are showing you reflections of past states of consciousness, not the reality that you are creating now. In the Bible, faith is defined as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This is a perfect description of the state of consciousness required to collapse time. Your faith, your unwavering assumption of the reality of your desire, is the substance that will objectify as your physical experience. And what are those who say, "But I have tried this and it doesn't work for me"? To them, I say, examine your consciousness. Are you truly living from the state of your wish fulfilled, or are you merely visiting it occasionally? Are you consistently assuming the feeling of your desire accomplished, or do you fluctuate between faith and doubt? Collapsing time requires a steadfastness of consciousness that many have not yet developed. It requires a mental and emotional discipline that goes beyond momentary visualizations or affirmations. It demands a complete reorganization of your inner life. A total commitment to the reality of your desire is already fulfilled. This commitment is not something you do once and then forget. It is a continuous state of being, a way of living from day to day, moment to moment. It is the consistent occupation of the state of consciousness that corresponds to your desire fulfilled. Many fail because they treat this as a technique rather than a transformation. They imagine their desire fulfilled for a few minutes before sleep, but during their waking hours they return to their old patterns of thought and feeling. They thus nullify their brief excursions into the fourth dimension with hours of contradictory consciousness. To truly collapse time, you must make your new state of consciousness your dwelling place. You must live there, sleep there, work there, play there. You must be so thoroughly saturated with the feeling of your wish fulfilled that it becomes your default state of being. This doesn't mean you won't have moments of doubt or fear. You are human and such moments are natural, but it does mean that you will immediately recognize these moments for what they are, temporary excursions from your true state, and return to the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. The power to collapse time is already within you. It is your divine inheritance, your birthright as a spiritual being. You need only claim it through the consistent assumption of the state of consciousness that corresponds to your desire fulfilled. Let me give you a practical exercise to help you develop this power. Tonight, before you sleep, select one desire that you wish to manifest. Make it something that is meaningful to you, something that would bring genuine joy and fulfillment if realized. Now close your eyes and construct a scene that would imply the fulfillment of this desire. Make it as vivid and as real as possible. Use all your senses to enter into it completely. For example, if your desire is for a loving relationship, imagine yourself lying in bed next to your beloved, feeling their warmth, hearing their breathing, experiencing the deep contentment of being loved and loving in return. If your desire is for financial abundance, imagine yourself looking at a bank statement that shows the exact amount you desire, feeling the security and freedom that comes with that abundance, perhaps sharing your good fortune with those you love. Whatever your desire, create a scene that would naturally occur if that desire were already fulfilled. Then step into that scene. Be not a spectator, but a participant. Feel it, live it, become one with it. As you fall asleep in this state, you are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. This seed will grow and in due season will manifest as your physical reality. But remember, this is not a one-time exercise. You must return to this state and again, and evoking your habitual consciousness until the very thought of your desire being unfulfilled becomes impossible to you. This is how you collapse time. This is how you bring the future into the present. This is how you manifest your desires effortlessly, not through struggle and strain, but through the simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Now, let us address a question that often arises. What about others involved in your desire? What if your desire involves other people, their choices, their free will? This is where many become entangled in concepts of manipulation or control. But understand this, you are not controlling others when you assume a state that includes their cooperation or participation. You are simply selecting a version of reality in which they freely choose to align with your desire. The universe is infinite, containing all possible states and all possible variations of every state. When you assume a particular state, you are not forcing anyone to conform to your desire. You are simply shifting your own consciousness to a reality where your desire is already fulfilled. And in that reality, others respond accordingly, not because they are compelled to, but because in that version of reality, that is their natural response. This is not manipulation. It is the recognition that all reality is an expression of consciousness. Change your consciousness and you change the version of reality you experience, including the behaviors and attitudes of others within that reality. But always approach this with love and respect for others. Your desire should never involve harm or limitation for another being. They should be expansive, uplifting, contributing to the welfare of all involved, for in the true recognition of the unity of all consciousness, what benefits one benefits all. Another question that often arises is about timing. Even when you have successfully collapsed time in your consciousness, there may appear to be delays in the physical manifestation of your desire. This is due to what I call the bridge of incidents, the series of events that must occur to bring about the physical realization of your desire. While in the fourth dimension all is instantaneous, in the three-dimensional world, there is a sequence of events, a logical progression from one state to another. This sequence is not something you need to plan or figure out. It will unfold naturally and inevitably once you have established your new state of consciousness. Your work is not to determine how your desire will manifest or when it will appear. Your work is simply to maintain the state of consciousness that corresponds to your desire fulfilled and to let the law operate in its own perfect way and in its own perfect timing. Many become impatient and abandon their assumption because they do not see immediate results. This is a mistake. The seed has been planted and it must grow. The bridge of incidents is being built and it will lead inevitably to the physical manifestation of your desire. Trust in the law, have faith in the process. Know that once you have assumed the feeling of your wish fulfilled, nothing can prevent its manifestation except your own return to a contradictory state of consciousness. This trust, this faith is not blind belief. It is based on understanding the law that governs all manifestation. Consciousness is the only reality in your three-dimensional world, is simply a shadow, a reflection of your states of consciousness. Change your consciousness and you change your world. This is the law, and it operates with mathematical precision regardless of your belief or disbelief in it. The great secret to collapsing time and manifesting your desires effortlessly is to so completely identify with the state of your wish fulfilled that you live from it as naturally as you now live from your current state. This is not a technique to be applied occasionally, but a way of being a continuous state of consciousness. For those who truly grasp this principle and apply it with understanding and persistence, there are no limits. All things become possible because all things already exist in consciousness, waiting to be called forth through the power of assumption. You are not fighting against circumstances or conditions. You are not trying to overpower obstacles or limitations. You are simply shifting your consciousness to a reality where those obstacles and limitations do not exist, where your desire is already fulfilled. This is the true meaning of the biblical phrase, "All things are possible to him that believeth." Belief in this context is not intellectual assent to a proposition. It is the complete extent of a state of consciousness, the full identification with a particular reality. When you believe in your desire as already fulfilled, when you live from that belief, when it becomes so real to you that you can no longer doubt its reality, then you have truly collapsed time and your desire must manifest in your physical experience. This is the law and it cannot fail. If it appears to fail, it is only because you have not fully assumed the state of your wish fulfilled, or because you have returned to a contradictory state after a brief sojourn in the state of fulfillment. The power to collapse time is your divine inheritance. It is the creative power that shapes worlds and determines destinies. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, and use it with the full recognition of its limitless potential. For in the end, all manifestation is simply the externalization of your own consciousness, the objectification of your own assumptions. Change your assumptions and you change your world. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled, and you collapse time. Bringing the future into the present, manifesting your desires effortlessly through the power of your own divine imagination. This is the great secret, the master key to the universe. It has always been available to you, waiting for your recognition and acceptance. Take it now. Use it now. Transform your life now through the simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. In the words of Scripture, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This renewal, this transformation is not a distant goal, but an immediate possibility. It is available to you here and now, in this very moment, through the power of your consciousness. Step into the state of your wish fulfilled. Live from it, think from it, feel from it, make it your dwelling place, your natural habitat, and watch as your outer world reshapes itself to match your inner assumption. This is the way to collapse time and manifest every desire effortlessly, not through struggle and strain, not through arduous techniques or complicated rituals, but through the simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. You are the operant power in your universe. You are the God power expressing itself as you. Recognize this truth, claim your power, and use it to create the life you desire and deserve. For in the recognition of your true self, your divine nature, you find the key to all manifestation, the path to all fulfillment, the secret to collapsing time and bringing your desires into instant realization. The world is yourself pushed out. It is the mirror of your consciousness, the projection of your assumptions. Change your consciousness and you change your world. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled, and you collapse time manifesting your desires effortlessly through the power of your own divine imagination. This is the law and it cannot fail. It operates with mathematical precision regardless of your belief or disbelief in it. It is as consistent as gravity, as reliable as the rising and setting of the sun. Use this law consciously, deliberately, and with understanding. Apply it to every area of your life. Live from the end, from the state of fulfillment rather than working toward it, and watch as miracles unfold in your experience, as desires manifest effortlessly, as time collapses, bringing the future into the present through the power of your consciousness. Remember, you are not bound by time or space or circumstance. You are bound only by your assumptions. Change your assumptions and you change your world. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and you collapse time, manifesting your desires effortlessly through the power of your own divine imagination. This is the secret I share with you tonight. Take it into your consciousness. Apply it with understanding and persistence and experience the transformation that must follow as surely as day follows night. For you are the operant power in your universe, the God power expressing itself as you. Recognize this truth. Claim your power and use it to create the life you desire and deserve. In the words of Scripture, all things are possible to him that believeth. Not some things, not many things, but all things. There are no limitations except those you accept in your consciousness. There are no obstacles except those you create through your assumptions. The power to collapse time and manifest every desire effortlessly is already within you. It is your divine inheritance, your birthright as a spiritual being. Claim it now. Use it now and watch as your life transforms through the simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. For in the end, all manifestation is simply the externalization of your own consciousness, the objectification of your own assumptions. Change your assumptions and you change your world. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled, and you collapse time, bringing the future into the present, manifesting your desires effortlessly through the power of your own divine imagination. This is the great secret, the master key to the universe. It has always been available to you, waiting for your recognition and acceptance. Take it now. Use it now. Transform your life now through the simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. And know that as you apply this principle, as you live from the state of your wish fulfilled, you are not just changing your individual experience. You are contributing to the transformation of all consciousness, to the awakening of all beings to their true divine nature. For in the ultimate reality, there is only one consciousness, one being expressing itself through seemingly separate individuals. As you awaken to the power of your consciousness, as you learn to collapse time and manifest your desires effortlessly, you help to evade all consciousness, to bring all beings closer to the recognition of their divine nature. This is your gift to the world, your contribution to the evolution of consciousness. And it begins with a simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, of living from the end of collapsing time through the power of your divine imagination. Take this gift, use it wisely, apply it with love and understanding, and watch as miracles unfold in your experience, as desires manifest effortlessly, as time collapses, bringing the future into the present through the power of your consciousness. For you are the operant power in your universe, the God power expressing itself as you. Recognize this truth, claim your power, and use it to create the life you desire and deserve. And know that as you do so, you are fulfilling your divine purpose, expressing your true nature, contribute to the awakening of all beings to their divine essence. This is the ultimate manifestation, the highest use of the power to collapse time and manifest desires effortlessly. Use this power with reverence, with gratitude, and with the recognition of its sacred nature. For it is the creative force through which all things come into being, the divine principle expressing itself through your consciousness. And as you align your consciousness with this principle, as you live from the state of your wish fulfilled, you become a conscious co-creator with the divine and the divine manifest of your reality, a master of time and circumstance through the power of your consciousness. This is your birthright. This is your destiny. This is the truth of your being, waiting only for your recognition and acceptance. Claim it now, live from it now, and watch as your life transforms through the simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. For in the words of Scripture, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, not as he will think, but as he thinks now in this moment, not as he will be, but as he is now in consciousness. The future is not something to be created, it is something to be entered, to be assumed, to be lived from in the eternal now consciousness. This is the secret to collapsing time and manifesting every desire effortlessly, not through effort or struggle, not through arduous techniques or complicated rituals, but through the simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Take this secret into your consciousness, apply it with understanding and persistence, and experience the transformation that must follow as surely as day follows night. For you are the operant power in your universe, the God power expressing itself as you. Recognize this truth, claim your power, and use it to create the life you desire and deserve. In closing, remember these words, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This renewal, this transformation is not a distant goal, but an immediate possibility. It is available to you here and now in this very moment through the power of your consciousness. Step into the state of your wish fulfilled. Live from it, think from it, feel from it. Make it your dwelling place, your natural habitat, and watch as your outer world reshapes itself to match your inner assumption. This is the way to collapse time and manifest every desire effortlessly, not through struggle and strain, not through arduous techniques or complicated rituals, but through the simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. You are the operant power in your universe. You are the God power expressing itself as you. Recognize this truth, claim your power, and use it to create the life you desire and deserve. For in the recognition of your true self, your divine nature, you find the key to all manifestation, the path to all fulfillment, the secret to collapsing time and bringing your desires into instant realization. The world is yourself pushed out. It is the mirror of your consciousness, the projection of your assumptions. Change your consciousness and you change your world. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled, and you collapse time manifesting your desires effortlessly through the power of your own divine imagination. I speak to you not as one who theorizes about these principles, but as one who has tested them in the crucible of experience and found them to be unfailingly true. What I share with you tonight is not philosophy alone, but a practical approach to living that will revolutionize your experience of reality. For when you truly understand what I am about to tell you, you will never again be a victim of circumstance, never again feel powerless in the face of what appears to be. The universe has been waiting for you to see that you are God pushed out into expression. The I am within you is not separate from the divine I am that created all that is. I and my Father are one, as the scripture tells us. This is not blasphemy. It is the highest recommendation of nature and the key to unlocking your limitless potential. Every moment of your life, you've been using this divine power, though perhaps unconsciously. Every state you have ever occupied, every circumstance you have ever encountered has been drawn into your experience by the magnetic force of your imagination and belief. The world you see is not the cause of your consciousness. Your consciousness is the cause of the world you see. Let me tell you a simple truth that most of humanity has yet to grasp. Your imagination is the very workshop of creation. What you imagine with feeling, with conviction, with the full force of your being must inevitably externalize itself in your world. This is not wishful thinking or fanciful speculation. It is the fundamental law by which all things come into being. When you imagine yourself to be limited, to be lacking, to be separate from your good, you are using the divine power within you to create that very experience. And when you imagine yourself to be whole, abundant, loved, and free, you are using that same power to create that reality instead. The choice has always been yours, though perhaps until now you have not known that you were choosing. The universe has been waiting for you to see that there is no power outside of you that can withstand your conscious, deliberate use of imagination. No circumstance is permanent unless you perpetuate it through your continued assumption of its reality. No condition is immutable unless you continue to breathe life into it through your belief in its necessity. Consider for a moment everything in your current experience began as a state of consciousness, as an assumption that you accepted as true. Your relationships, your financial status, your health, your very sense of identity, all of these are the outpicturing of states that you have occupied in consciousness. Nothing has come to you that you did not first accept in mind, either consciously or unconsciously. The great secret that the universe has been waiting for you to see is that you can change these states at will. You are not bound to any particular state of consciousness unless you choose to be. You can at any moment step out of a state that does not serve you and into one that does. And as you change your state within, the world without must correspondingly change to reflect your new assumption. This is the true meaning of rebirth, not a physical death and resurrection, but a perpetual renewal of consciousness. I die daily, said Paul, and so do you as you let go of old concepts of yourself and embrace new ones. Each time you shift your consciousness, you are dying to an old self and being born to a new one. And each rebirth brings with it a new heaven and a new earth, a new experience of reality that corresponds to your new state of being. The universe has been waiting for you to see that time is not a barrier to the fulfillment of your desires. In the realm of imagination, The future event you long for already exists, complete and perfect. Your task is not to create it, but to appropriate it, to assume the feeling of its reality here and now. For what you feel is true, though invisible to your physical senses, is more authentic, more substantial than anything you can touch or see. When you close your eyes and dare to feel the joy, the relief, the gratitude that would be yours if your desire were already fulfilled, you are not indulging in fantasy. You are engaging with reality at its most fundamental level. You are stepping into the state from which your desire can be made manifest. You are aligning yourself with the version of you who already has what you seek. Too many people pray to a God outside themselves, begging for favors as if from a reluctant deity. They do not realize that the very feeling of their prayer is itself the answer. For when you feel the reality of the state sought, you have found it. The feeling is the secret, the bridge between desire and manifestation, the thread that draws experience to you like a magnet draws iron. The universe has been waiting for you to see that there is no separation between you and that which you desire. The apparent gap between wanting and having is crossed not by time or effort, but by assumption. Assume you are what you wish to be, and you will become it. Assume you have what you wish to have, and it must come into your experience. This is not magic. It is the practical application of an immutable law. I recall a young woman who came to me in despair. For years she had been trying to establish herself as business, but despite her talents and her efforts, she remained in a state of perpetual struggle. She asked me what she was doing wrong, why the universe seemed to deny her the success she sought so earnestly. I asked her a simple question. When you think of yourself, do you see yourself as someone striving for success or as someone who is already successful? She admitted that in her mind, she always positioned herself as the aspiring entrepreneur, the one working toward a goal that remained ever out of reach. I told her, there is your problem. As long as you occupy the state of striving for success, that is exactly what you will experience, perpetual striving. You must dare to step into the state of being successful now in your imagination before any physical evidence supports it. You must live from the end, feeling the relief and satisfaction of having already achieved what you desire. She took this advice to heart and began a practice of spending time each day in a state of quiet contemplation, feeling the reality of being the successful business owner she wished to be. She imagined congratulatory conversations, the satisfaction of seeing a bank balance grow, the freedom to make choices without financial constraint. Most importantly, she began to carry herself differently, to speak differently, to think of herself differently throughout her day. Within 3 months, her business underwent a transformation that seemed miraculous to outside observers. New opportunities appeared that she would have previously overlooked. Clients who could significantly advance her success were mysteriously drawn to her. Solutions to long-standing problems emerged with unexpected ease. She had not changed her external actions dramatically, but she had fundamentally the state from which those actions proceeded, and that made all the difference. This is the pattern I have seen repeated countless times. When you change your concept of yourself, when you dare to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, despite all contrary evidence, the universe conspires to reflect back to you your new self-concept. It must, for it is law, and law knows no exceptions. The universe has been waiting for you to see that all of your experiences, all of your circumstances, all of the people and events in your life are reflections of your own consciousness. They are the shadows cast by the light of your assumptions. Change your assumptions and you change the shadows. It cannot be otherwise. Consider those in your life with whom you have difficulty. Perhaps there is someone who seems consistently hostile, uncooperative, or disrespectful toward you. The natural human tendency is to react to such behavior, to push against it, to try to change the other person's attitude or actions. But this approach keeps you locked in the very state you wish to escape, for what you resist persists. Instead, dare to see that person differently in your imagination. Hear them speaking to you with respect and kindness. Feel the warmth of harmonious interaction with them. Do this not as a technique to manipulate them, but as a recognition that they, too, are yourself pushed out, a reflection of your consciousness. As you persist in this new assumption, you will be amazed at how the other person seems to undergo a transformation. In truth, it is your consciousness of them that is transformed, and they cannot help but reflect the new image you hold. The universe has been waiting for you to see that your present circumstances, no matter how challenging they may appear, are not your enemy, but your most devoted teacher. They are showing you with perfect accuracy what you have been conscious of, what you have accepted as true for yourself. If you do not like what you see, do not lament or struggle against it. Simply change your consciousness, and what you see must change in response. Too often, people come to me deeply concerned about conditions in the outer world, economic downturns, political unrest, environmental challenges, feeling helpless in the face of such seemingly overwhelming forces. I tell them what I tell you now. The world outside is a reflection of the collective consciousness of humanity, and you contribute to that consciousness with every thought, every assumption, every state you occupy. If you would see a better world, you must first be a better consciousness. You must embody the change you wish to see. This is not to absolve you of practical action, but to remind you that all effective action stems from a state of being. Be peace if you would seek peace. Be abundance if you would see abundance. Be love if you would see love. For you cannot give what you do not have, and you cannot lead others where you yourself have not gone. The universe has been waiting for you to see that your consciousness is the only true causative power in your life. External actions, strategies, and efforts may be the channels through which manifestation occurs, but they are not the cause. A change in consciousness always precedes a change in circumstance, never the other way around. Those who do not understand this principle often exhaust themselves with action, pushing against conditions, fighting limitations, striving through force of will to overcome obstacles. They are like someone trying to eliminate their shadow by running away from it, not realizing that the shadow is cast by them and will follow wherever they go. True transformation comes not from changing conditions, but from changing the consciousness from which conditions spring. When you shift your state of being, new paths of action become apparent that were previously invisible to you. Principles emerge that your limited consciousness could not have conceived. Synchronicities occur that seem miraculous, but are in fact the natural outworking of your expanded awareness. The universe has been waiting for you to see that the state you occupy most habitually becomes your dwelling place, your home in consciousness. If you have been living in a state of lack, of limitation, of fear, or resentment, you have made that state your home. And while you may take brief vacations to more pleasant states, moments of joy, of inspiration, of love, you will always return to your home state unless you deliberately choose a new dwelling place. This is the meaning of the biblical phrase, "In my Father's house are many mansions." The mansions are states of consciousness, levels of awareness, each with its own furnishings, its own atmosphere, its own view of life. You can choose at any moment to relocate your consciousness to a more spacious, more beautiful world. And when you move your consciousness, your body and your affairs must follow. I know a man who had lived for decades in a state of financial insecurity. Though he earned what would be considered a good income, he never felt safe, never felt he had enough. He budgeted carefully, denied himself small pleasures, and still the fear of lack haunted him. His bank account grew, but his anxiety did not diminish, for his consciousness remained unchanged. One day he realized that his experience of financial limitation was not dictated by his actual resources, but by his consciousness of himself as someone who was always at risk, always one step back away from disaster. In a moment of clarity, he saw that he had been living from a state of consciousness that could never experience abundance. No matter how much money passed through his hands, he decided to relocate his consciousness to the state of absolute financial security. Each night before sleep and each morning upon waking, he would feel the ease, the comfort, the deep knowing that he was provided for in all ways, that abundance was his natural state, that money came to him easily and frequently from expected and unexpected sources. Within weeks, opportunities for increased income began to present themselves. A forgotten investment yielded unexpected returns. A skill he had developed as a hobby turned out to be in high demand professionally. But more importantly, his relationship with money transformed. He began to experience the psychological freedom that even when his bank account was full, he had changed his dwelling place in consciousness, and his outer world rearranged itself to match his new address. The universe has been waiting for you to see that the law of assumption operates with mathematical precision. It is not capricious or selective. It does not favor some and deny others. Your assumption, if persisted in, will harden into fact regardless of your past, your character, your deservedness in the world's eyes. The law is impersonal and exact, like the law of gravity, which does not care who is falling or why. This is liberating news, for it means that no matter what your past has been, no matter what mistakes you believe you have made, no matter how far you feel you are straight from your true path, you can begin anew at any moment. The past has no power over your future except the power you give it through your continued assumption of its significance. The universe has been waiting for you to see that you are free now, not tomorrow, not when certain conditions are met, not when you have atoned for perceived failures or earned the right to happiness, but now in this moment, by the power of your sovereign choice, to assume a new state of being. Let me tell you about freedom as it truly is, not as the world conceives of it. True freedom is not the ability to do whatever you please in the external world. True freedom is the capacity to choose your state of consciousness regardless of external circumstances. It is the recognition that while events may seem to happen to you, your experience of those events is determined by you alone, by the state from which you view them. A man imprisoned behind bars who knows this truth is freer than a millionaire who does not, for the prisoner can escape the confines of his situation in consciousness and experience the liberation that comes with that shift, while the millionaire may remain imprisoned by fears, attachments, and limiting beliefs despite his apparent liberty. The universe has been waiting for you to see that what you seek is seeking you with equal intensity. Your desires are not random or arbitrary. They are intimations of what is already yours in the invisible realm of pure potential. The very fact that you can conceive of a state means that state exists as a possibility for you to occupy. When you feel a pull toward greater abundance, deeper love, more vibrant health, or expanded creativity, you are feeling the gravitational pull of a state that already exists, complete and perfect, waiting for you to step into it. Your desire is the bridge between your present state and a state where that desire is fulfilled. But desire alone is not enough. Desire must be transformed into assumption. You must not merely want the state. You must claim it as your own here and now. You must dare to declare, I am that I am, knowing that as you persist in this declaration made not with the lips, but with the feeling nature of your being, the external evidence must follow. The universe has been waiting for you to see that your life is a story you are telling yourself, and you can change the narrative at any point. If the current chapter does not please you, you have the power to begin a new one. You are both the author and the main character of your life story, and the pen is always in your hand. Too many live as if their story is being written by external forces, circumstance, other people, fate, or chance. They see themselves as victims of the plot rather than its creator. But I tell you now that every event, every relationship, every condition in your life is woven from the fabric of your own consciousness. Change your consciousness and you change your story. A woman I knew had crafted a narrative of herself as someone who was always overlooked, always passed over for opportunities, always the last to be chosen. When she examined this story objectively, she realized it was sustained by her selective attention to events that confirmed her belief and her dismissal of evidence to the contrary. She had become so identified with this narrative that she unconsciously arranged her life to ensure its continuation, setting herself up for situations where she was likely to be overlooked. When she recognized this pattern, she made a radical decision to tell herself a new story. In her imagination, she began to see herself as someone who was valued, sought after, appreciated for her unique gifts. She consciously noted instances when she was acknowledged, when her contributions were recognized, when her presence made a difference. As she persisted in this new narrative, remarkable changes began to unfold. Colleagues who had previously ignored her ideas now sought her input. Opportunities that once seemed close to her now appeared accessible. She had not changed her basic personality or suddenly developed new skills. She had simply changed the story she was telling herself about her place in the world, and the world responded accordingly. The universe has been waiting for you to see that the conditions you experience are not the result of your actions, but of the state from which those actions spring. Two people may perform identical actions with vastly different results because they are operating from different states of consciousness. Consider two individuals who both start businesses with similar resources and similar market opportunities. One operates from a state of confidence, expectancy, and certainty of success. The other operates from a state of anxiety, doubt, and fear of doom. Though their external actions may appear nearly identical to an observer, the results they experience will be dramatically different because the state of consciousness infuses every decision, every interaction, every response to challenge with its own particular quality. The first entrepreneur will perceive opportunities where the second sees only obstacles. The first will inspire confidence in potential clients and partners, while the second unwittingly communicates doubt. The first will bounce back from setbacks with renewed determination, while the second will see each difficulty as confirmation of impending failure. It is not what they do, but who they are being while they do it that determines their results, and who they are being is determined by the state they occupy in consciousness. This principle applies not just to business, but to every area of life, health, relationships, creativity, spiritual growth. The state is everything. The universe has been waiting for you to see that there is a perfect timing to all manifestation, a gestation period between the planting of a seed in consciousness and its emergence into visible form. Just as a farmer does not plant seeds one day and expect to harvest a crop the next, you should not assume a new state today and expect to see complete transformation tomorrow. Nature cannot be hurried, but neither can it be delayed when the necessary conditions are present. The seed that is planted in fertile soil given adequate water and sunlight must grow. It cannot choose to remain dormant. Similarly, the state that is assumed with conviction and persisted in through faith must externalize itself in your experience. It cannot do otherwise. During the interval between the assumption of the state and its physical manifestation, your task is simple, but not always easy to maintain the assumption, despite all evidence to the contrary, to live as if your desire were already fulfilled, to be faithful to the state you have chosen to occupy. This fidelity to your assumption is what the Bible refers to as faith. Faith is not belief without evidence. It is loyalty to your chosen state before physical evidence has appeared to justify it. It is the conviction that what is true in consciousness must inevitably become true in experience, regardless of appearances. The universe has been waiting for you to see that you never manifest what you want. You always manifest what you are. Wanting implies lack, absence, separation from your good. Being is the recognition that what you seek is already yours in consciousness, and that consciousness is the only reality. When you say, I want abundance, you are affirming that abundance is not your current reality, and that affirmation perpetuates the experience of its absence. But when you declare, I am abundant, feeling the truth of that statement in every cell of your being, you are establishing abundance as your reality in consciousness, and that inner reality must objectify itself in your world. This is why Jesus taught, therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. He understood that the feeling of having already received is the secret to manifestation. It is the shift from wanting to being, from seeking to finding, from hoping to knowing. The universe has been waiting for you to see that your imagination is not a fantasy factory separate from reality, but the very workshop in which reality is forged. What you imagine with feeling creates the mold into which experience flows. You control your imagination and you control your destiny. Most people use their imaginative faculty haphazardly, allowing it to dwell on fears, past hurts, potential problems, and limitations. They do not realize that these mental states are the blueprints from which their future experiences will be constructed. They wonder why the same patterns keep recurring in their lives without recognizing that they themselves are creating these patterns through their habitual imaginings. To harness the creative power of imagination, you must become conscious and deliberate in its use. You must train yourself to imagine only what you wish to experience, to feel only what you wish to perpetuate, to assume only the states that you wish to manifest. This discipline of mind is the true work of creation. The universe has been waiting for you to see that the outer world is plastic and malleable to the touch of consciousness. It is not fixed or solid as it appears to be, but is in constant flux, responding moment by moment to the patterns of your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions. Physical reality is like clay in the hands of the potter, and you are the potter shaping the clay with the invisible hands of your consciousness. The clay has no power to determine its own form. It can only take the shape that you give it. Similarly, your circumstances have no power to determine your state of being. They can only reflect the state that you have chosen to occupy. The universe has been waiting for you to see that revision is not merely a psychological technique, but a practical application of the law of assumption. When you revise a past event in your imagination, feeling the reality of the revised version as if it had actually occurred that way, you are not engaging in wishful thinking or denial. You are literally altering the impact of that event on your present and future. The past exists in your consciousness as memory, and memory is not fixed or immutable. It is a living, dynamic aspect of your consciousness that can be transformed through the creative power of imagination. When you revise a painful memory, infusing it with new meaning, new emotion, new outcomes, you are changing the seed from which your present conditions grow. This is not to deny the events occurred, but to recognize that their significance, their emotional charge, their ongoing influence in your life is determined not by the events themselves, but by your consciousness of them. Change your consciousness of the past, and you change its power over your present and future. The universe has been waiting for you to see that everyone in your world is yourself pushed out, a reflection of your consciousness, playing roles that correspond to your assumptions about them and about yourself in relation to them. They are not independent entities operating for motives and purposes separate from your consciousness of them. They are the living embodiment of that consciousness. This does not mean that others do not have their own existence or their own free will. It means that what you experience of them, how they appear and behave in your world, is filtered through and shaped by your consciousness. You see not them as they are in themselves, but them as you are in yourself. When you change your consciousness of another person, when you revise your assumptions about them, when you imagine them behaving differently toward you, you are not manipulating them against their will. You are creating the conditions in consciousness that allow them to reveal different aspects of themselves to you. You are tuning your receiver to a different frequency and thus receiving a different broadcast. The universe has been waiting for you to see that your body is not the cause of your consciousness, but the effect of it. Your physical health, vitality, and appearance are the outpicturing of your habitual states of consciousness regarding yourself. Change those states, and your body must change accordingly. This is not to blame those who experience physical challenges or to suggest that all illness is your fault. It is to empower you with the knowledge that no physical condition is beyond the reach of transformed consciousness. Your body is continuously recreating itself cell by cell according to the blueprint held in your consciousness. Change the blueprint and the structure must change to match it. I have seen countless cases of physical transformation that followed a transformation in consciousness. People who had been told their conditions were chronic or incurable experienced remarkable recoveries after they shifted their assumptions about themselves and their bodies. They did not deny the presence of symptoms, but denied their permanence, their power, their inevitability. They claimed health and consciousness before health was evident to the senses, and in doing so they created the conditions for health to manifest. The universe has been waiting for you to see that prayer properly understood is not petition to an external deity, but the feeling of gratitude and fulfillment that accompanies the consciousness of wishes fulfilled. When you pray correctly, you are not asking for something you lack, but giving thanks for something you have already received in consciousness. This is the meaning of the scripture, and all things whatsoever you shall ask in prayer, believing you shall receive. The belief that is required is not intellectual assent to a doctrine, but the feeling conviction that what you ask for is already yours. That feeling is itself the receiving, the acceptance in consciousness that precedes manifestation, in fact. The most powerful prayer is not one of supplication, but one of acknowledgement, the recognition that what you seek has already been given, that the state you desire to occupy is already prepared for you, that the version of yourself that has transcended current limitations already exists and is beckoning you to claim your rightful inheritance. The universe has been waiting for you to see that sleep is not merely a physiological necessity, but a spiritual opportunity, a time when your conscious mind steps aside and allows the assumptions of the day to be impressed upon your subconscious mind without resistance or contradiction. The moments before sleep are a gateway to transformation, a time when the soil of the subconscious is particularly receptive to the seeds you plant within it. What you assume as you drift into sleep, the feeling states you occupy, the inner conversations you entertain, the mental images you hold will grow throughout the night and bear fruit in your waking experience. This is why the scripture advises, let not the sun go down upon your wrath. To fall asleep in a state of anger, worry, or fear is to nurture those states in the fertile soil of the subconscious. But to fall asleep in a state of gratitude, joy, and assurance is to nurture those states instead, allowing them to take root and take in your life. Develop the habit of reviewing your day just before sleep, mentally revising any events that were less than perfect, imagining them as you wish they had been. Then occupy the state of your wish fulfilled, feeling the naturalness of having what you desire, being who you wish to be. Fall asleep in this state, and you will be amazed at the changes that begin to unfold in your waking experience. The universe has been waiting for you to see that you are never a victim of circumstances unless you choose to be. The power to change your experience lies in controlling its sterile conditions, but in controlling the state from which you view and respond to those conditions. Even in the most challenging situations, you have the freedom to choose the meaning you assign to events, the stories you tell yourself about what is happening and why, the expectations you hold for the future. This freedom cannot be taken from you by any person, any institution, any circumstance. It is your sovereign right as a creative being. When you fully embrace this truth, you will never again say, "I had no choice," or "they made me feel this way," or "it's just the way things are." You will recognize these statements as applications of your creative power, surrenders of your divine inheritance. You will instead declare, "I choose my response, I determine my emotional state, I create my reality from the inside out." The universe has been waiting for you to see that the feeling of love is the most powerful creative force available to you, not romantic love alone, but love in its fullest sense, the feeling of connection, of oneness, of recognizing yourself in all things and all things in yourself. When you approach manifestation from a state of love rather than a state of lack or fear, you align yourself with the fundamental nature of the universe, which is unconditional love expressing itself through infinite forms. In this state of alignment, what you desire flows to you with an ease and naturalness that seems miraculous to those who do not understand the law. Love dissolves the barriers between you and your good. It transforms wanting into having, seeking into finding, becoming into being. It is the ultimate state from which to create, for love knows no limitations, recognizes no impossibilities, accepts no restrictions on its infinite capacity to give and receive. The universe has been waiting for you to see that you are not here to struggle, to overcome obstacles through force of will, to earn your good through sacrifice and hardship. You are here to create, to express, to expand, to experience the joy of watching your inner states made manifest in outer form. The path of struggle is the path of separation, the belief that you must overcome something outside yourself to achieve your desires. The path of creation is the path of unity, the recognition that what appears to be outside yourself is actually a reflection of what is within, and that by changing the within, you inevitably change the without. Choose the path of creation. Choose to see challenges not as obstacles to be defeated, but as opportunities to practice your creative power, to refine your understanding of the law, to deepen your faith in the perfect correlation between inner state and outer manifestation. The universe has been waiting for you to see that time is not a barrier to the fulfillment of your desires. In the dimension of consciousness, the future event you long for already exists, complete and perfect. Your task is not to create it through time, but to align your consciousness with it now, to occupy the state of its fulfillment in the eternal present. When you enter the state of your wish fulfilled, feeling its reality with all the vividness of your imagination, you are not projecting that state into a distant future. You are claiming it in the now, the only moment that truly exists. From that state of present fulfillment, the outer manifestation unfolds with a timing that serves the greatest good of all concerned. The universe has been waiting for you to see that silence is often the most eloquent expression of faith. After you have planted the seed of your desire in consciousness, after you have felt its fulfillment as a present reality, there comes a time to be still and know that the law is at work, bringing all things to pass in perfect order. In this silence, this mental Sabbath, you rest from your labors of conscious creation, trusting in the invisible processes that are transforming your assumption into fact. You do not anxiously dig up the seed to see if it is growing. You do not repeatedly declare your intention as if repetition were necessary for fulfillment. You simply know that what is true in consciousness must inevitably become true in experience, and in that knowing you find peace. My dear friends, the universe has been waiting for you to see all these things and more. It has been waiting for you to claim your rightful place as a conscious creator, to step into the fullness of your power, to recognize the divinity that has been within you from the beginning. Tonight, make a decision to live from this recognition. Choose a state that embodies what you be to have. Enter that state in consciousness, feeling its reality, embracing its truth. Then go about your life from that state, letting your thoughts, words, and actions flow naturally from it. Do not strain or struggle to make things happen. Simply be the person who already has what you desire, and watch as the universe rearranges itself to accommodate your new state of being. Remember always that the outer world has no choice but to reflect your inner world, that circumstances have no power to determine your state, unless you give them that power, that what you experience is the direct result of what you are conscious of being. With this remembrance comes true freedom, the freedom to create your life exactly as you wish it to be, not through force or manipulation of externals, but through the conscious direction of your own awareness. The universe has indeed been waiting for you to see this truth, to grasp it not just intellectually, but with the full force of your being, to embody it in every moment of your existence. And now that you have seen it, now that you have heard it with understanding, you can never again be content with a life of limitation, a life of reaction rather than creation, a life dictated by circumstances rather than by choice. Go forth from this moment transformed by what you now know. Let every challenge be an opportunity to apply this law. Every apparent setback a chance to deepen your faith in the perfect correlation between inner state. Live as the divine creative being that you are, expressing the infinite potential that is your birthright, and watch as miracles become your daily experience. For in truth there are no miracles, only the natural operation of law, the law that has been waiting for you to discover and apply it. And now that you have seen this truth, nothing in your life can ever be the same again. The universe has been waiting for you to see this, and now at last you have. This moment right now is divine. You are not here by accident, not listening to these words by chance. There are no coincidences in the great tapestry of life, only signs, only messages whispered into the depths of your soul. You have prayed, you have waited, and now the sign is before you. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. The reality you long for is not in some distant future. It is here, waiting for you to claim it. The world around you may look the same, but do not be deceived by appearances. What is unseen is more real than what is seen. Your desire, your vision already exists in the unseen, waiting for you to bring it forth. The struggle, the delays, the disappointments, they were never meant to break you. They were meant to shape you, to prepare you for what is coming. You have endured, and now the moment approaches where the unseen becomes seen, where the promise manifests before your very eyes. Look no longer at lack. Look no longer at struggle. These things do not define you. What defines you is the truth within, the knowing that what you seek is already yours. The door is not locked. It has never been locked. The key was never in the hands of the world. It has always been within you. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle. You are not waiting for a breakthrough. It is waiting for you to step into the awareness that it is done. Doubt whispers that it will take time. Faith declares it is already here. The moment you accept that your desire is fulfilled, you step into a new state of being. You walk differently, think differently, speak differently. The world bends to meet you at the level of your belief. This is not theory, this is truth. You have seen glimpses of it before, small moments where things aligned perfectly, where prayers were answered in ways you never expected. These were signs, reminders that you are never forgotten, never abandoned. Now, the greatest sign of all is before you. Do you feel it? That stirring within your spirit, that deep knowing that something is shifting. That is not imagination. It is confirmation. Everything you have walked through has led to this moment. The struggle is not the end. It is the doorway. You have been refined in the fire, and now you emerge stronger, clearer, ready. The breakthrough you seek is not in the hands of others, not in the opinions of the world. It is not waiting for the right circumstances, the perfect conditions. It is waiting for you the moment you surrender doubt, the moment you release fear, the moment you say it is done. All of heaven moves to bring it forth. Doors that seem closed forever will open. Paths you never saw before will unfold, and you will know without a shadow of a doubt that this was never about struggle. It was always about faith. This moment is not ordinary. It is sacred. You have been drawn to this message not by accident, but by divine order. Everything within you has been seeking, longing, pressing forward, believing, and sometimes even doubting. But hear this now. Your breakthrough is not far. It is not hidden in the distant future. It is here in this very moment, waiting for you to awaken to its reality. The signs have been all around you, whispering to you in moments of silence, nudging you in dreams, revealing themselves in ways too perfect to be mere coincidence. And now, this is the confirmation. This is the sign. You have not been forgotten. You have not been abandoned. What you have been seeking is already seeking you. The world may have told you to wait, to be patient, to keep struggling, to accept that things take time. But the truth is, time is an illusion. The only thing that separates you from your breakthrough is your own awareness of it. What you desire, what you have prayed for, what you have cried for in the silent hours of the night is not something that must be earned. It is something that already belongs to you. The door is open, but only faith can walk through it. The mind that is caught in waiting, in longing, in doubting, will always see delay. But the mind that knows, the mind that accepts, the mind that declares it is done, will see it manifest as surely as the sun rises. You have been through much. You have faced struggles that others do not see. You have carried burdens that have tried to break you. But you are still here. You are still standing. And this is not because you are merely surviving. It is because you are being prepared. Every tear you have shed has watered the soil of your future. Every moment of pain has been shaping you, refining you, making you ready for what is coming. You may have thought the delays were setbacks, but they were set-ups. The moments of waiting were not moments of denial. They were moments of alignment, moments of preparation, moments where your faith was being strengthened so that you could hold the weight of the blessing that is about to unfold. Feel this truth deep within you now. Everything that has been promised to you is already yours. You are not hoping for it. You are not chasing it. It is already done. The unseen is more real than the seen. The world around you is only a reflection of the beliefs you hold within. What you accept as true in your heart will be made visible before your eyes. And so, if you would dare to shift, if you would dare to rise above the noise of doubt and declare with absolute certainty that your breakthrough is now, then nothing in this world could stand against it. Look at your life not as it is, but as you desire it to be. See yourself already in possession of the blessing. Feel the joy of it. Walk in the confidence of it. Speak as though it is already done, because the moment you do, heaven moves on your behalf. Circumstances shift. People are placed in position. The impossible becomes possible, and what once seemed like a distant dream becomes your living reality. There is no force on earth that can stop what is meant for you. No mistake you have made, no obstacle in your path, no opposition from the world can delay what has already been ordained. The only thing that can delay it is the refusal to believe that it is yours. You do not need to beg for what is already yours. You do not need to struggle for what has already been given. The law of the divine is simple. What you believe, you receive. What you expect, you attract. What you accept, you become. And so, if you would only stand firm, if you would only claim your blessing with unwavering faith, if you would only declare with the authority that has been given to you, it is mine, then you would see it unfold before your eyes. Fear may try to whisper that it is not possible. The mind may try to reason that it will take time. But faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith does not wait for proof. Faith does not ask for confirmation. Faith knows. And when you truly know, deep within your soul that your breakthrough is now, then nothing in this world can keep it from you. There will always be voices that try to make you doubt. There will always be circumstances that try to shake your faith. But this is where you must stand firm. Do not waver. Do not shrink back. The blessing is not for the one who waits in fear. It is for the one who steps forward in boldness. For the one who refuses to accept anything less than what has already been given. You are not small. You are not powerless. You are not waiting for permission to receive what is yours. It is already done. Look around you now with different eyes. See beyond the temporary. See beyond the struggles. See beyond the delays. What you desire is already present in the unseen. It is already formed. It is already finished. You are not trying to create it. You are only aligning yourself with it. And the way you align is by believing, by declaring, by knowing. There will come a moment when you look back on this time and realize that the waiting was never truly waiting. It was a process of becoming, a process of stepping into the awareness that you were never without, never lacking, never forgotten. And when that moment comes, when the breakthrough appears, when the prayers are answered, when the doors open wide, you will know that it was never about struggle. It was always about faith. It was always about seeing beyond what the eyes can see and believing in the unseen with every fiber of your being. Hold fast now. Stand firm. Do not let go of this knowing. Your breakthrough is not just coming. It is here. It is yours. Everything is aligning. Even now, forces unseen are moving on your behalf. The shift has already taken place. What was once hidden is being revealed. What once felt far away is now within reach. There is no more waiting, no more delaying, no more wondering if you are worthy. You have always been worthy. The blessing has always been yours. The only thing left for you to do is claim it, to walk in it, to embody the truth that it is already done. The world may try to tell you otherwise. It may show you obstacles, struggles, and delays. It may try to convince you that things are not changing. But you must not look with the eyes of the flesh. You must look with the eyes of faith. What is seen is temporary. What is unseen is eternal. What you hold within your heart is more powerful than anything you can see around you. The circumstances do not define your reality. Your belief does. And if you believe now, if you accept now, if you declare now that your breakthrough is here, then nothing can stop it from unfolding. There is no force strong enough to hold back what is divinely ordained. No circumstance, no person, no past mistake can keep you from what has already been set in motion. The moment you chose faith over fear, the moment you decided to believe in the unseen rather than be swayed by what is in front of you, everything shifted. You may not see it yet with your eyes, but in the realm of the unseen it is already finished. The path has already been cleared. The doors have already been opened. The way has already been made. Hold on to this truth now. Let it sink deep into your spirit. You have come too far to turn back. You have endured too much to give up now. Every challenge, every trial, every delay has only served to make you stronger, to prepare you for the blessing that is unfolding. It was never a punishment. It was never meant to break you. It was meant to mold you, to shape you, to make you ready for what is coming. There is a version of you, a higher version, that already lives in the reality you desire. That version of you is confident, at peace, walking in abundance, surrounded by favor. That version of you does not doubt, does not worry, does not question. That version of you knows. And right now, in this moment, you have the power to step into that version of yourself. You have the power to embody the reality you have been longing for. You do not need to wait for circumstances to change. You must change first. The moment you shift, everything around you shifts. The signs have been everywhere. The confirmations have been coming. Every time you felt a deep knowing, every time you saw a small glimpse of what is possible, every time you felt an unshakable peace in the midst of uncertainty, that was a sign. That was proof that what you desire is not just wishful thinking, it is real. It is meant for you. You must now rise above doubt. You must now silence the thoughts that tell you it is not possible. You must now walk in the fullness of what has already been given. Speak it as though it is already done. Feel it as though it is already yours. Carry yourself with the confidence of someone who already knows that they have received, because the moment you do, the entire universe must respond. Everything must align with the reality you hold in your heart. The breakthrough is not separate from you. It is not something you are trying to reach. It is something that already exists within you, waiting for you to fully accept it. Fear may try to creep in, but fear has no power here. Doubt may try to whisper, but doubt has no authority. The truth is stronger than any illusion. And the truth is, your life is changing even now. Things are shifting even now. The unseen is becoming seen even now. Every moment, every breath, every step you take in faith is bringing you closer to the visible manifestation of what has already been set in motion. You are not waiting for it to happen. It is already happening. Let go of the old. Release the thoughts that no longer serve you. Release the habits that keep you tied to the past. Release the belief that you must struggle to receive what is already yours. The moment you let go, the moment you surrender fully to the knowing that it is done, you will see the evidence unfold before your very eyes. The timing is perfect. The path is clear. Everything is working in your favor. You do not need to know how it will happen. That is not your concern. Your only responsibility is to believe, to trust, to walk as if it is already yours. Because it is. Everything you have been seeking is seeking you. Everything you have been waiting for has been waiting for you to step into alignment. The moment you match the frequency of your blessing, nothing can stop it from manifesting. Feel the shift now. Feel the peace that comes with knowing it is done. Feel the weight of doubt lifting, the burden of waiting dissolving. You are already there. You are already in the reality you desire. Time is an illusion. The only thing that matters is your belief in this moment. If you would dare to believe fully, to trust completely, to walk in absolute certainty, you would see miracles unfold before your very eyes. You have always been powerful. You have always been divinely guided. Every step, every moment, every experience has led you to this realization. And now you stand on the edge of the greatest breakthrough of your life. The only thing left to do is claim it, embrace it, walk in it. The time is now. The moment is here. It is already done. Every breath you take is a confirmation that life is moving in your favor. Every beat of your heart is proof that the unseen is working on your behalf. You are not separate from the power that creates worlds. You are not separate from the divine intelligence that governs all things. You are one with it. And because you are one with it, there is no struggle, no lack, no delay. Only unfolding, only alignment, only the continuous expression of what has always been yours. What you are seeking is not outside of you. It is not something you must chase. It is something you must allow. It is something you must recognize as already existing within you. There is no distance between you and your breakthrough. There is no separation between you and your desire. The only separation is the illusion that you must wait, that you must strive, that you must prove yourself worthy. But you are already worthy. You were born worthy. The moment you understand this truth, everything shifts. The chains of limitation break. The weight of doubt disappears. The fear of failure vanishes, because in that moment you realize you were never waiting for a breakthrough. Your breakthrough was waiting for you. Waiting for you to rise above doubt, waiting for you to release fear, waiting for you to claim what has always been yours. You do not have to beg for what has already been given. You do not have to plead for what is already yours. You do not have to seek permission for what was destined for you before time began. The universe does not operate in uncertainty. It does not hesitate. It does not second guess itself. It moves with absolute certainty, with divine precision, with unwavering faith in its own perfection. And because you are one with that power, you must move in the same way. Walk as if you already have it. Speak as if it is already yours. Think as if the reality you desire is the only reality that exists. Because the moment you do, the moment you fully embody that knowing, the outer world has no choice but to conform. It must bend to the truth you hold in your heart. It must reflect the conviction that radiates from within you. The unseen must become seen. The invisible must become visible. The promise must become reality. There is no force strong enough to block what is divinely appointed for you. No obstacle is greater than the power that flows through you. No delay can outlast the certainty of a heart that believes. The only question is, will you believe now? Will you trust now? Will you let go of doubt now? Because the moment you do, everything you have been waiting for will flood into your life as if it had been there all along. There is no need to wait for permission. There is no need to wait for signs. The signs have already been given. Every moment of deep knowing, every whisper of intuition, every moment of peace in the midst of uncertainty has been a sign. Every time you felt a shift in your spirit, every time you caught a glimpse of what is possible, every time you felt an unshakable calm in the middle of the storm, that was a sign that it is already done, a sign that your breakthrough is not coming. It is here. Do not be distracted by what your eyes see. Do not be swayed by what circumstances suggest. The physical world is nothing more than a reflection of past thoughts, past beliefs, past assumptions. But the moment you change your belief, the moment you shift your assumption, the moment you decide that nothing can stop what is already yours, reality must obey. It has no choice. It is law. You are not a victim of life. You are the creator of your experience. You are not subject to circumstances. Circumstances are subject to you. The moment you take your rightful place as the author of your reality, everything changes. You no longer wait. You no longer hope. You no longer wonder if it will happen, And because you know it must be so, feel the power of this truth. Let it wash over you. Let it sink into the deepest part of your being. Let it dissolve every lingering doubt, every old fear, every past hesitation. You are no longer who you were yesterday. You are no longer the person who questioned, who hesitated, who waited for proof before believing. You are now the person who knows, who trusts, who walks in certainty. Your breakthrough is not a distant dream. It is not a wish. It is not a possibility. It is a reality that already exists, waiting for you to claim it. And the moment you do, the moment you fully step into that truth, nothing can stop it from unfolding. The doors that seemed closed will swing open. The delays that seemed endless will vanish. The path that seemed uncertain will become clear. Because it was never about the external world. It was always about you, your belief, your knowing, your willingness to trust in what cannot yet be seen. You have been prepared for this moment. Everything you have faced, everything you have endured, everything you have overcome has led you to this realization. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was in vain. Every step, every lesson, every challenge was shaping you, refining you, making you ready to receive what has always been yours. You did not come this far to stop now. You did not endure so much just to turn back. The promise has already been fulfilled. The manifestation is already unfolding. The only thing left for you to do is accept it. Speak it now. Claim it now. Walk in it now. Feel it now. Because the moment you do, the moment you truly believe, the world around you will shift in ways you never imagined. What seemed impossible will become inevitable. What seemed far away will become your present reality. What seemed like a dream will become the life you wake up to every single day. You have always been powerful. You have always been divinely favored. You have always been chosen. And now you stand at the threshold of the greatest breakthrough of your life. The only thing left to do is step forward in faith, knowing that it is already done. There is no force in this world that can keep from you what has already been written in your name. No delay is strong enough. No obstacle is large enough. No opposition is powerful enough to stop what has been divinely ordained. The moment you understand this, you no longer beg, you no longer plead, you no longer wait in uncertainty. You step forward in full confidence, knowing that your breakthrough is not a question of if, but when, and even that when is now. Everything that has happened up to this point has not been to harm you, but to prepare you. Every closed door was a divine redirection. Every disappointment was an unseen blessing. Every delay was an act of grace, ensuring that when you walk into your breakthrough, you will be ready to receive it fully, without fear, without hesitation, without doubt. You were never being denied. You were being refined. Your faith was being strengthened. Your heart was being expanded. Your mind was being renewed. You do not need to ask for what has already been given. You do not need to seek outside of yourself for confirmation of what is already unfolding. The evidence is within you, that deep knowing, that quiet assurance, that inner peace, despite what your physical eyes see. That is the greatest sign you will ever receive. You would not have been given the vision if it were not already yours. You would not feel the pull towards something greater if you were not meant to experience it. The desire itself is the confirmation. The world will try to convince you otherwise. It will show you lack. It will show you limitation. It will show you reasons to doubt. But you must look beyond appearances. You must see beyond what is and focus on what is becoming. What you hold in your imagination, what you affirm in your heart, what you embody in your spirit, that is what determines what unfolds in your life. You are not bound by circumstances. You are not subject to statistics. You are not a prisoner of the past. You are a creator, a co-creator with the divine, shaping reality through the power of belief. It does not matter what has not happened yet. It does not matter what others say is possible or impossible. The moment you decide, the moment you step into the fullness of your faith, the unseen forces begin to rearrange themselves in your favor. The doors you thought were closed begin to open. The resources you thought were out of reach begin to appear. The opportunities you thought had passed you by begin to chase you down. Because nothing can resist the power of a mind that is fully convinced. You have waited long enough. You have doubted long enough. You have questioned long enough. Now is the time to trust. Now is the time to walk forward as if everything you have asked for is already here. Because in truth it is. The moment you align yourself with the reality you desire, the moment you embody it in thought, in word, in action, in feeling, it must manifest. This is not wishful thinking. This is not a hopeful fantasy. This is law. You were created with the power to call things into existence. You were given the ability to move mountains not by effort, but by faith. You were born to be limitless, yet you have allowed yourself to believe in limitation. You were born to walk in divine abundance, yet you have settled for lack, but no more. The time for hesitation is over. The time for uncertainty has passed. Now is the moment to stand firm, to plant your feet in the foundation of unwavering belief, to declare with absolute certainty that your breakthrough is here. Do not wait for physical proof before you believe. Do not wait for external validation before you act. Faith is not about seeing first. It is about knowing first. It is about feeling first. It is about becoming first. And when you do, the world has no choice but to catch up. Certainty must reflect the conviction you hold. Circumstances must bend to the truth you embody. The unseen must become seen. The formless must be fulfilled. You have already won. You have already conquered. You have already received. The only thing left is for you to wake up to the truth of who you are and claim it. Stand in your power. Walk in your authority. Move with the certainty of someone who knows that nothing is missing. Nothing is lacking. Nothing is out of reach. Because when you do, you will realize that your breakthrough was never far away. It was always within you, waiting for you to recognize it, waiting for you to accept it, waiting for you to declare with unwavering faith that it is already done. You are not bound by the limitations of time or space. The truth of who you are transcends these constraints. The universe operates in perfect order, and within this order there is no delay. There is no waiting. There is only divine timing, and divine timing is always right on time. What you have been desiring, what you have been working toward, is already in motion. It has already begun to unfold, even if your eyes cannot see it yet. Even if your mind cannot fully comprehend it, know this, it is closer than you think. What you are experiencing right now is not a setback. It is a setup for the greatness that is about to enter your life. All of the challenges, the obstacles, the struggles, they are the divine preparation for the breakthrough you are about to experience. You could not have arrived at this moment without passing through these tests. They were necessary. They were part of the process. They were never meant to break you, but to shape you into the person you are now, strong, resilient, and ready to step into your power. The universe never sends you anything you are not capable of handling. It may seem hard at times. It may seem overwhelming, but in those moments you are being prepared for something greater. When the pressure is high, it is because you are being forged into something more powerful than you ever thought possible. You are a diamond being formed in the fire. You are a tree with deep roots growing in the storms. The challenges you face are not here to destroy you. They are here to strengthen you, to refine you, to mold you into the version of yourself that is capable of receiving the fullness of the blessings that are coming. Understand that nothing happens by accident. Everything you are going through is part of a larger plan, a divine orchestration that is working for your good. Even when things seem unclear, when it feels like the world is against you, know that everything is happening according to divine order. The forces of the universe are aligning to bring you exactly what you need at the exact right time. It may not come in the way you expect. It may not come in the package you imagine, but it will come. And when it does, it will be exactly what you need to fulfill your purpose and step into the life you have always dreamed of. Do not be discouraged by the time it seems to take. Do not be disheartened by the delays that appear. What you are waiting for is not out there, far off in the distance. It is already here in the unseen, in the energetic realm. It is already taking shape. And the moment you shift your perception, the moment you align your thoughts and feelings with the knowing that your breakthrough is imminent, you will see it materialize before your eyes. The key is to remain steadfast in your faith, no matter what your circumstances may suggest. The moment you give up, the moment you stop believing, is the moment the manifestation slips further away. But if you hold on, if you keep moving forward with the confidence that what you desire is already yours, then the universe will have no choice but to bring it into your physical reality. Your power lies in your ability to believe without seeing, to trust without evidence, to know without proof. This is where your strength is found. The world may try to convince you that you need to see it to believe it, but that is the very opposite of the law of creation. You must first believe it to see it. You must first feel it in your heart and soul before it can ever manifest in your life. Your inner world shapes your outer world, your character your own, what you feel, what you believe, what you expect. This is what the universe will deliver to you. When you begin to live with the knowing that your breakthrough is already here, you stop searching for signs. You stop waiting for external confirmation. You stop questioning the process. You trust fully and completely that what you have asked for is already on its way. And the moment you align yourself with that truth, the universe begins to work in your favor. Things start falling into place. opportunities begin to present themselves. People, resources, and situations that will support you in your journey start to appear out of nowhere. Understand that this is not by chance. This is not a coincidence. This is the law of attraction at work. This is the law of manifestation. This is the power of your thoughts and beliefs shaping your reality. And the more you focus on what you want, on what is already yours, the more it will come to you. But the key is to believe it now, to know it now, to feel it now. You must walk in the faith that your breakthrough is already unfolding. You must speak it as though it is already here. You must act as though it is already done. And when you do, you will begin to see the results in your life. What you seek is already seeking you. What you desire is already desiring you. The universe is conspiring in your favor. And when you recognize this, when you fully embody the belief that everything you need is already on its way, you will begin to attract everything that aligns with your vision. Do not look to your past for evidence of what is to come. Your past is not a reflection of your future. Your past is simply a series of experiences that have led you to this moment. It is what you do now, in this moment, that determines your future. It is your belief in the unseen, your trust in the divine process that will determine the shape of what is to come. The breakthrough is not a future event. The breakthrough is now. It is happening right now in this moment. The question is, are you ready to receive it? Are you ready to step into the fullness of your power? Are you ready to claim what is already yours? You have been prepared for this moment. Everything that has come before has been part of the grand plan. The challenges, the victories, the lessons, they have all been preparing you for the greatness that is about to unfold in your life. You are not the same person you were a year ago. You are not the same person you were a week ago. Every experience has shaped you, has refined you, has made you ready for the breakthrough that is now on its way. Your breakthrough is not just about a new job, a new relationship, a new opportunity. Your breakthrough is about stepping into the full realization of who you are. It is about awakening to your divine potential, to your true power. It is about embracing the truth that you are already whole, already complete, already worthy of every blessing the universe has to offer. And once you step into that truth, once you fully embrace your divine nature, the breakthroughs will come flooding into your life, not because you have to work for them, not because you have to strive, but because you are now aligned with the energy that attracts them. You are now a magnet for everything you desire. The breakthrough you have been waiting for is not a distant dream. It is already yours. And the moment you believe that, the moment you embody that truth, it will appear in your life in ways you never imagined possible. You will look around and see that everything you have asked for is already here, unfolding before your eyes. And you will know without a shadow of a doubt that it was always meant to be. You have been prepared, whether you realize it or not, for the moment of your breakthrough. Every experience, every trial, every setback has been part of the greater divine plan. These moments have not been random. They have been necessary to build your resilience, your strength, and your trust. Every seemingly negative situation was not a sign of defeat. It was a lesson that brought you closer to your ultimate victory. Every obstacle was not an enemy to be feared, but a stepping stone that elevated you to new heights. The world will try to tell you that the road to success is difficult, that it is reserved for the lucky or the special. It will show you evidence that life is a struggle, that not everyone gets what they want. But you must ignore that. You must refuse to accept that narrative. Because the truth is that you were never meant to struggle indefinitely. You were never meant to wait endlessly for a breakthrough that never comes. The breakthrough is already here. It is within your grasp, and it has always been within you. You see, the key to unlocking your breakthrough lies not in waiting for it to happen, but in becoming the person who is ready for it. It is about shifting your perception. It is about stepping into a new consciousness, a higher way of thinking. When you begin to align yourself with the truth of who you are, a divine being, a co-creator with the universe, everything begins to shift. The world around you responds to your energy. Your thoughts and feelings become magnetic, drawing the people, resources, and opportunities that you need into your life. The breakthrough is not something that happens outside of you. It is not an event that occurs in the physical world and then changes your life. The breakthrough is a shift in consciousness, a deep inner knowing that you are worthy of all the good the universe has to offer. It is the realization that you are not waiting for something to come to you. You are not waiting for permission or for the right circumstances to align. You are the creator of your reality. And when you understand this fully, everything in your life will begin to change. The reason you have not seen the breakthrough yet is because you have been waiting for external circumstances to shift, for things outside of yourself to change. But the moment you decide that you are worthy of your breakthrough, the moment you truly believe that it is already yours, everything begins to shift from within. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, they all begin to align with the reality you are creating. And when this happens, the external world has no choice but to reflect your new inner state. You are constantly creating your reality, whether you are aware of it or not. Every thought, every belief, every feeling that you hold shapes your experiences. The universe does not operate on the basis of what you want. It operates on the basis of what you believe to be true. If you believe that your breakthrough is far off, that it is difficult to attain, that it will take years to manifest, then that is what will show up in your life. But if you choose to believe that your breakthrough is already here, that it is within your reach, that it is happening now, then that is the reality that will materialize. This is the power you hold. It is the power of belief, the power of faith, the power of knowing that what you desire is already on its way. When you shift your focus away from what you don't have and begin to focus on what you already possess, the inner strength, the wisdom, the clarity, the love, the breakthrough you've been waiting for will arrive effortlessly. When you stop seeking validation from others and start trusting your own inner guidance, the doors will open. When you stop trying to figure everything out with your logical mind and start trusting in the process, the universe will conspire in your favor. You are a magnet for your desires. What you focus on, you attract. What you believe, you manifest. And so it is essential that you believe that your breakthrough is coming, that it is already here in some form. The moment you believe it, the moment you accept it, you begin to attract it into your life. This is not just wishful thinking. This is the way the universe works. This is how creation happens. The moment you align your thoughts and beliefs with the reality you desire, you will see evidence of it all around you. You will see signs, synchronicities, opportunities, and people that support your vision. It will feel like everything is falling into place effortlessly. You won't have to chase after things or force them to happen. Everything will begin to flow, and you will step into your breakthrough with ease and grace. It may not happen in the exact way you expect, and it may not arrive in the way you've been hoping for, but it will come. It will always come. The breakthrough is not about the form it takes. It is about the essence of it, the feeling of expansion, the sense of fulfillment, the knowing that you have become who you are meant to be. That is the true breakthrough, and it is already happening within you. You may be wondering how to make this shift in your thinking, how to change your beliefs and align yourself with the truth of your breakthrough. It begins with self-awareness. It begins with understanding that your thoughts are powerful, that your beliefs are shaping your reality every single day. Take a moment to reflect on what you truly believe about yourself, about your future, about the possibilities that lie ahead. Are your beliefs aligned with your dreams, or are they rooted in fear and doubt? If you find that your beliefs are not aligned with what you want, begin to change them. Start by affirming the truth that you are worthy of your breakthrough. Speak it out loud, write it down, feel it in your body. Every time doubt arises, replace it with an affirmation of your power and your worth. Know that you are deserving of every blessing, every opportunity, every dream that you desire. Visualize your breakthrough as if it has already occurred. See it in your mind's eye. Feel the emotions of having already received it. Immerse yourself in the experience of it, and let that feeling become your reality. When you do this, you are creating a new blueprint for your life. You are planting seeds of belief that will eventually manifest in the physical world. The moment you start aligning yourself with the truth that your breakthrough is already here, the universe will begin to rearrange itself in your favor. You will no longer feel like you are chasing after your dreams. Your dreams will begin to chase you. You will become a magnet for the people, situations, and opportunities that are needed to bring your vision to life. Remember, there is no force in this world that can keep you from what is already meant for you. There is no circumstance, no challenge, no setback that can prevent your breakthrough from coming. It is already yours. It is waiting for you to step into it, and the moment you do, the world will open up to you in ways you could never have imagined. Your breakthrough is not a future event, it is a present reality. It is happening now, and when you fully embrace this truth, you will step into a life of limitless possibility. Your breakthrough is not a distant dream or a far-off hope. It is an unfolding reality that begins within you. The moment you truly accept that everything you need, everything you desire, is already aligned and waiting for you, the world around you will begin to shift. You are the creator of your reality, and the universe is responding to the energy you put out. As you let go of doubt and embrace your power, as you choose to believe in the certainty of your breakthrough, it will manifest effortlessly in your life. Know this. The path to your breakthrough is not a path of struggle or uncertainty. It is the path of faith, belief, and alignment with your highest truth. It is already unfolding. The opportunities are arriving. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. The question is not whether it will come. It already is. The question is, will you trust in it, believe in it, and step into it with full confidence? Step forward with the certainty that everything you desire is already on its way. Your breakthrough is now. Embrace it.